What's going on, guys? HK Titan here with a brand new video for you guys. But first things first, as always, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today's video, we're going to be jumping back into our Bloons Tower Defense 6 walkthrough/playthrough/guide. And for today's guide, we're going to be jumping onto a Spring Chimps mode. So for this mode, I will be using Obyn as my hero, and we will be going for the druid strat because the druid strat on Spring works very well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to be starting off with is we're going to be starting off with 3 dart monkeys, because I found that the dart monkey strat at the start is a little bit more reliable than trying to go with like a ninja monkey or trying to go with the monkey subs. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going the safest route that we possibly can. And if you guys will notice my placement of my dart monkeys, I went ahead and placed it so this dart monkey was able to hit the balloons towards the left side of this island up here, because the top island is just a little bit bigger than the bottom island here. Then of course I made it so the bottom island dart monkey would be able to hit all of the balloons as they circle the island themselves. And then we're going to come over here to this front dart monkey here, and we're just going to change his targeting over to strong. That way the front dart monkey will do damage to all of the strong balloons, and these 2 dart monkeys that we place down will be able to do damage to the rest of the balloons themselves. Alright, perfect. Now, the next thing that we're going to be going for is we're going to be going for a monkey sub, because we want to make sure that we don't let any balloons slip through. And unfortunately, because we are dealing with 2 different pathways, we're only having 2 dart monkeys that are dealing with the balloons at any given point in time. Even though they're dealing with half of the balloons, the dart monkey can still get a little bit unreliable. So what we're going to do is we are going to place a monkey sub towards the back here. Right about here should do pretty well, because he can hit the balloons twice before they end up trying to leave. Alright, perfect. As you guys can see, the strategy is working out really well so far. The next thing that we're going to be going for is we're going to be going for our obyn. So as soon as we can afford to buy our obyn, we're going to go ahead and do so. As you can see, this is exactly why we placed the monkey sub in the very back. If we were able to afford our obyn before then, we would have been fine as well. But I feel like the monkey sub is the safest way to go, just in case you have like a red balloon slip through. And I'm trying to make my guides as safe and reliable as possible. I do know that some of the guides that I put out have become a little bit outdated, so I'm doing my best to try and make sure that the guides that I'm putting out will be more reliable for a longer period of time. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to place down our obyn, and we want to place our obyn down at the very tip of this peninsula right here, and then we can go ahead and fast forward again. Next thing that we're going to be going for is we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves 3 druids. Following the 3 druids, we're going to go ahead and buy ourselves a spike factory. And with the spike factory is going to be our main popping power for dealing with camel balloons, because of course we're not going to be able to afford the monkey village, and of course we don't want to rely on obyn's brambles to deal with the lead balloons by themselves. Alright, there we go. So let's go ahead and slow things down just a little bit to make sure that we're able to get this placement of our druid correct. Now let's go ahead and we're going to place our druid as far up as he'll go, and then as far to the right as he can go, like so. And then we can go ahead and fast forward again. We're not going to get any upgrades for the druids just yet. We will be upgrading them eventually, but the main popping power that we're going to be dealing with once we get the druids on the field is of course going to be the spike factory itself. So let's go ahead and slow things down again to make sure that we have ample time to go ahead and place down our druid. So with this druid, we're going to place him as far to the right and as far down as we can get him, like so. And now we can go ahead and fast forward again. And again, guys, you don't have to be absolutely precise with the druids. The reason why I'm trying to be as precise as possible is to show you guys the positioning that I use whenever I use the druids on Spring. So as you can see, we were able to fit 3 druids in a very tight space around our obyn. And what that means is that when we do place down the monkey village and we start to upgrade that, all of the druids that we place down are going to be within range of the monkey village itself. And then on top of that, you guys can see that the druids themselves can hit both sides of the track, which is another really good thing about placing down your druids in a very tight space, especially on Spring. Alright, now guys, this is where placement comes in very important. With this spike factory, we will be this flower right here you're going to line up the spike factory in the very center of this flower like so. And then I'll show you the reason why we're doing that. We may have gotten it just a little bit too low, but it shouldn't be too far off. Now we're going to go ahead and upgrade to long reach, and then we're going to go ahead and buy smart spikes. And then if we got the placement of the spike factory correct, as soon as we switch over to far, the spike factory should be placing the spikes right here at the very end of the track, which is exactly why we needed to place the spike factory in the exact position how we did. Because if you place it too far to the right, then the spikes will get placed up here. You place it too far to the left, then the spikes will get placed here or here, and they're just not as effective. We're going to upgrade to faster production, and we're going to save up to buy faster production as well. And then once we get faster production, next thing that we're going to go for is we're going to go ahead and buy the rest of our druids to make sure that we have ample popping power for round 40. And we should be able to afford even faster production here in just 1 second. It's not a big deal to buy the long life spikes. We will end up buying the long life spikes for round 40, but again, we really don't need it right now. And as you guys can see, we have a bunch of lead balloons coming, which is exactly why Obyn is a great hero to use for this map, especially since we have so many towers that are being buffed by the by Obyn himself. And now let's go ahead and start placing down some more of our druids. Let's go ahead and place this one down here, place this one over here. Then we should be able to place one more right here, and then that will be the end of our druids. It may seem like a couple of our druids are a little bit out of range of each other, but once we place down the monkey village, and then once Obyn gets leveled up as well, you guys will notice that the druids are all going to be able to buff each other, and that's exactly why I chose to go with the strat. Now the next thing that we are going to be upgrading all of our druids to a 0-1-2, and the 0-1-2 is going to be able to carry us through round 40. Once we get all of our druids upgraded to a 0-1-2, then we're going to go ahead and upgrade our spike factory all the way up to long life spikes. And if everything goes according to plan, we should be able to afford all of these upgrades on our druids. On top of that, we're definitely going to be able to afford the long life spikes. As you guys can see, the 0-1-2 druid is a very, very cheap upgrade path to go, especially since they end up buffing. Well, they don't end up buffing each other, but the druids themselves are extremely good when you pair them together, as you guys can see. Alright, and then as also you guys can see that the spike factory is doing an amazing job at dealing with the camo balloons. Of course, the spike factory is going to need a little bit of help with camo balloons here in just a second. But for now, the 0-2-2 spike factory is more than enough to deal with the camos themselves. Alright, perfect, and now we're going to be saving up to buy the long life spikes because unfortunately, even though the druids do an amazing job, the Moab balloon will unfortunately go past the druids themselves, so we need a little bit of added popping power with the spikes in the very, very back. Alright, so now next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to upgrade this top druid here, and then this druid right here to the Druid of Wrath, because the Moab balloon is going to come through the top path here. So we wanna make sure that we're upgrading the druids that are closest to the top of the path before we upgrade the druids to the bottom. That way we're able to deal with this Moab balloon. And as you guys can see, we're going to be able to deal with the Moab balloon, and then of course the spike factory is going to be able to finish off all of the balloons that come out of the Moab balloon itself. Alright, so next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and upgrade all of these druids up to Druid of Wrath. Now the next thing that we're going to be going for is we are going to be saving up for our monkey village. Because as you guys can see, the camo balloons are making it just a little bit too far. So we need a little bit of added camo popping power to help out our spike factory in the very back. Because unfortunately, we don't want our spike factory to get overwhelmed by the camo balloons. So let's just go ahead and throw down a couple of monkey villages here. So right there should do fine. Now on this monkey village, we're going to go ahead and buy monkey business and monkey commerce to go ahead and give us a little bit of a cheaper rate. And then we're going to go ahead and save up for radar scanner. That way all of our druids are going to be able to pop camo balloons, and we won't have to rely on the spike factory to be the main popping power for the camo balloons themselves. Even though the spike factory is doing an amazing job at dealing with the camo balloons. All right, now we're going to go ahead and save up for jungle drums. So as soon as we can afford to buy our jungle drums, we're going to go ahead and do so. That way we get a little bit of added popping power from our druids as well as our obyn. So here in just 1 second, there we go, perfect. And now all of our druids are being buffed by jungle drums, a radar scanner. Now we can start saving up to buy the pop list. So what we're going to do, similar to what we did on Ador's Temple, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a fast forward bit where I'm going to go ahead and upgrade all of our pop lists. So the pop list or the druid that I'm going to start with is that I'm going to start with the very center one here, because of course the center one has the best hit radius. So I feel like this is going to be the best one to start with. And then we're going to go ahead and just work our way around. And there's really no specific order that you need to go in. So just upgrade all of the druids to a 0, 1, 4, and then I'll go ahead and bring you guys back. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back on round 55. As you guys can see, we have all of our druids upgraded to a 0, 1, 4. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and grab ourselves a Alchemist. Now with this Alchemist, it is very important that we do not buff our Spike Factory with the Alchemist that we're going to be upgrading to Stronger Stimulant. And you guys will see why that is in the later game. But we're going to go ahead and place down this Alchemist right here, upgrade it to Stronger Stimulant, and then we'll go ahead and buy Faster Throwing. On top of that, we're going to buy ourselves a second Alchemist as well, because we want to make sure that our druids are staying buffed. It doesn't matter too much if all of the towers are within range of the Alchemist itself. The main thing is that you get a majority of the druids within range of the Alchemist. So let's go ahead and upgrade this one to Stronger Stimulant as well. And as you guys can see, a majority of our druids should be staying buffed from the Stronger Stimulants. Alright, and we should be able to afford Stronger Stimulant, as well as we're going to buy Faster Throwing to make sure that all of our druids are staying buffed. And then our obyn should catch a little bit of a buff every now and then as well, but if he doesn't, again, it's not that big a deal. Alright, there we go. There's our Stronger Stimulant, and there's our Faster Throwing, and now we are good to go, guys. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys why we don't want the Spike Factory to be buffed. Because if we had the Alchemist buffing this Spike Factory with Stronger Stimulant or Berserker Brew, the range of our Spike Factory would increase, and it would change the targeting for the Spike Factory. And what that means is that it would no longer be placing the spikes right here, but it would be placing it right here if you got the position where I have it. So it would be, I think it would be placing them like right here. So it would be a little line here where if any ceramic balloons or anything like that were to get close to passing through, and we had the spikes placed over here, unfortunately these spikes would not be able to hit the ceramic balloons as they went through. So to make sure that we're being safe, we're going to go ahead and make sure that when we do throw an Alchemist on top of the Spike Factory, it's only upgraded to a 0 or a 2 0 0 or a 2 2 0, depending on what you guys would like to go. But anyways, guys, now we have the basis strategy set up. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fast forward all the way until I believe round 81 or 82, until we can afford the Avatar of Wrath. I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys back. Alright guys, it is officially round 82, and as you can see, we almost have $50,000 in our bank, so it's time to upgrade to the Avatar of Wrath. So generally, when I upgrade the Avatar of Wrath on Spring, I like to do the one that's in the center of the map because, of course, it can hit both sides evenly, making it a prime position for our Avatar of Wrath itself. Now that we have our Avatar of Wrath upgraded, I'm just going to go ahead and go through and upgrade the druids up to a 022, or a 024 or a 025 because we have the Avatar of Wrath here. It's not a necessity, but I just do it because we're going to have some extra income. Next thing that we're going to be saving up for is we're going to be saving up for the Monkey Intelligence Bureau. That way our Avatar of our Avatar of Wrath can pop lead balloons. So we should be able to afford the Monkey Intelligence Bureau here in just 1 second. There we go. Perfect. Now the next thing that we're going to be going for is we're going to be going for our permaspike. So as soon, what we're going to do is, again, we're going to go ahead and fast forward all the way to the point where we can afford to buy our permaspike. And then I'll go ahead and bring you guys back because there's really nothing to do because this strategy is well, it's not too OP, but it's really OP, especially when you get everything set up correctly. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and do another little bit of a fast forward bit, and I'll go ahead and bring you guys back when we can afford to buy the permaspike. Alright guys, it is towards the end of round 94, and as you guys can see, we have enough money to officially afford to buy the permaspike. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to grab an Alchemist to buff our permaspike to give it the ability to see, or to hit lead balloons. So if we can get the positioning of our Alchemist correct, we should be able to throw a acidic mixture dip on top of our permaspike here, and now our permaspike is being buffed with the ability to pop the lead balloons. So now we are going to leave this Alchemist at a 2-0 because we do not want the Spike Factory's range to increase, because if the Spike Factory's range increases ever so slightly, then it could mess up the positioning of our spike pile. So to make sure that we're being safe, we're just going to go ahead and leave it exactly like we have it right here. Now that we have this set up, guys, like, we're pretty much good and we are set to go. I guess we can go ahead and call it good for this round. I did want to say that the druids are not the only strategy that you guys can go for on Spring. There are a lot of strategies that work out very well. The reason why I chose to go with the druid strat is that it is very easy to set up and very user friendly. So what that means is that you don't need to have like experience in using abilities. You don't really need to have experience in like positioning or micro. The only micro that we did for this entire guide is we did set this budget ninja, aka the dart monkey, over to strong, and that was pretty much all that we did. So now at this point, you guys can feel free to place whatever monkeys you guys would like to place. Like if you guys would like to spam down a bunch of dart monkeys like so, then you guys can play, or you guys can spam down a bunch of dart monkeys, because at this current point in time, we are good and set to go. But let me see. But anyways, guys, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. Again, it has been absolutely amazing. You guys are absolutely crushing it. At the rate we're going right now, it looks like we might be able to hit 4,000 subscribers before 2021. So I feel like that should be the goal for the channel. If we hit it awesome. If not, it's not that big a deal because we already absolutely destroyed my goal for 2020. Because at the beginning of 2020, we had, I think, 78 subscribers. And now we're getting towards the end of 2020 and we're almost at 4,000. That's absolutely insane, guys. Thank you so very much. On top of that, we're almost at like 350,000 views. So the fact that you guys have supported me so much that we've progressed so far on my first year in YouTube is just absolutely insane. So again, guys, thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. On top of that, if you guys found this guide helpful, please feel free to drop a like because it helps me out a lot. Also, if you guys have not subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe as well. I do upload quite a bit of Bloons Tower Defense 6 content. But anyways, guys, you already know what time it is. I hope you guys have the most amazing day of your lives. And I'll see you guys in the next one.